Hello everyone, good morning. Today is going to be a wonderful day because it's the autumn here in Adelaide and we are going to have a writing day today. And I'm really excited because I've been waiting for today all week. I've had other work to do. I've just woken up. I'm going to be working on Project Spiegeltent. I'm on chapter 3 and 4 of draft 4 currently. Now for those of you who don't know, Project Spiegeltent is my arty, gothic, performing arts story. It's about a young woman whose name is Claire who goes and works at this slightly strange arts festival, and she starts to discover that there are things that may not be quite what they seem. My debut novel, Theatre as Tea Shop, is going to be out on July 28th this year. It's getting so close, and so I've been doing a lot of PR work. I got interviewed on a podcast the other day. I actually have another podcast coming up next week. There's been just so many things to do. But before I get overwhelmed by all of the things, because there's a lot of them, I need to eat my breakfast, and this is, well, I've got some caramel flavored yogurt, but our beautiful friend Megan made us some homemade granola, and this is the best granola I've ever had in my life. I've just been dead set eating it from the tub, which is not good. Very, very sweet of her. So I'm just gonna check my emails quickly while I eat. I'm gonna go get ready for the day. Sorry, it's probably a bit echoey in here. I've realized that was on manual focus for the entire time. It's currently autumn here in Adelaide and I'm really excited to head up to Stirling and go write at a cafe, have a really low-key writing session. This is my ideal kind of writing day where I don't have anything else pressing that I need to do. I did some emails, as I said, but I should be pretty much free to just go ahead and work on chapter 3 and chapter 4. This first part of the story doesn't really need that much work. I have these two different characters that I'm turning into the same character, so I've consolidated this. And I find that I do this a lot with my drafts where I have multiple people consolidate. Let's see how one person can serve multiple roles. Having this character play this new kind of role though means that it's not really properly like character A or properly like character B. It means this character is a completely new person entirely. So that has involved a little bit of stitching and unstitching, but yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I think the bulk of the work is going to be chapters 6 through 13. We are technically on draft 4 for Project Spiegeltent and sitting in a pretty good spot. Everything's going pretty easily. I think I took enough time to really understand what I want to do with the story before diving in. I now need to take Mabel for a walk and then I can head to my desk and we can do our first bits of writing for today. Stay. Let's get your bed. Oh no, where is it? Okay, Mabel, stay. Stay. Let's go, baby. We are all back from our walk. Welcome to my study. Remember how 4 videos ago I said this is going to be the last video where there's just mess behind me? Well, I can now report, however, that I'm getting very close to painting my study. I've done samples on the wall. I literally just have to find some spare time, hopefully this weekend, to move everything out of here and to patch up some of the holes and to start painting. I'm now at my desk and my plan is to do a little bit of work to read through chapters 3 and 4. I'm really just tweaking and refining some things and most of my work today is going to be on chapter 4. But before I get started on writing for today, something that I really like to do at the beginning of my day is a quick meditation to help prepare my brain so that I feel calm and unfrazzled and so that I can concentrate well on my work, which brings me to the sponsor of this video, Headspace. So I've actually been using Headspace for over a decade. It is a brilliant meditation app that has a wide range of different meditations and audios, and I am so thrilled that they reached back out to me because I've used Headspace for such a long time. It's helped me so much to calm my brain, which is often at times very frazzled and in need of help being calm. I'm actually on day 3 of this current productivity course.
Hi and welcome back into day 3. And just to build up a clearer picture, starting at the top of the head, just gently scanning down from head to toe.
I'm sure plenty of you can relate, but I sometimes find it difficult to start work in the mornings. I get to my desk, I check my emails, I end up on social media, but with Headspace, once I finish a meditation, I find that I can lock onto my stories and concentrate so much better, and I'm so much less prone to distraction. But I've also really enjoyed the courses on stress or just general meditation, mindfulness. There are so many things on the Headspace app, and that's one of my favorite things about it. And this is my favorite time of day to do a meditation because I've just taken my puppy for a walk, so she's fallen asleep behind me in her little bed. And it just sets me up really well for my day so that I'm far less likely to become distracted. So I really enjoy just popping on a meditation for 5 minutes or 10 minutes to get my day started well and so that I can concentrate well on my writing. Just 3 days of Headspace is proven to increase focus, and I definitely feel it. I also really love using Headspace at nighttime and popping on a quick meditation before I go to sleep because it really helps me wind down. I love the quality of the audio recordings. I love the way the app is designed. It's so beautiful, it's so easy to use, and the library is absolutely huge. There are podcasts, there are sleepcasts, there are meditations on just about anything you could need. So if you want to learn how to meditate, or if you just need a way to help press pause, you can use Headspace entirely for free for 60 days by clicking my link in the description down below or by scanning the QR code on screen. This is 2 full months of free access compared to the standard 2-week trial which is available on their website. So I'm going to listen to this meditation for the next 10 minutes. I'm going to scroll through the document and then we're going to get going.
So very often when we're learning this technique for the first time, it can be quite discouraging perhaps because we are noting, thinking so often.
So one car ride later, I ended up driving up to Stirling to go enjoy some of the autumn leaves. Now, many of you guys would have seen this town before if you're quite familiar with my vlogs. I film an autumnal vlog here like every single year. I love going to Stirling. It's one of my favorite places on this earth. The autumn leaves are so gorgeous. And if you're in Adelaide during the autumn time, I definitely recommend going there and checking it out. Stirling has this beautiful little bookshop called Matilda Bookshop, which I love. It's an independent bookstore, and it's very, very close to my heart because A, one of my best friends used to work there, and B, it's actually the only bookstore that sold physical copies of A Year in Tōkyō. So I used to drive a little stack of books up there every few weeks for about 6 months, I think it was. I think it was maybe like 30 or 40 copies of A Year in Tōkyō in total. But anyway, that's the only place you could have physically bought that book in a shop. So I love Matilda Bookshop, but I love popping in here and just having a look. And then after that, I headed over to a cafe to get started on work. Now, I'm about halfway to 3/4 of the way through chapter 3, and I'm also going to be working on chapter 4 here. So really, I don't have that much work to do. Like, I'm obviously tweaking everything, I'm refining everything, I'm doing bits and pieces, I'm going back and adding in foreshadowing for things that I now know are going to be in the ending of the story, but which weren't initially in the ending of the story. And during the editing of draft 4, there's going to be a lot of that, a lot of going back and forth, tweaking foreshadowing, making sure that everything's just sort of working in the story. As I said, a few things with the logic have changed a little bit in this story. I'm kind of just refining this world because this is not a world that came to me fully fledged. This story was very much one that I found slowly. I unearthed it kind of with an archaeologist's tiny little brush rather than with a big industrial scoopy thingy. What do we call a digging machine? I don't know. But the point is that I took a long time to do it. But anyway, I wanted to talk to you about the notion of writing routines because I still get asked all the time, what is my writing routine? And I know that I get asked this because I have built so much of my channel off of trying out famous authors' writing routines, and I love doing the writing routines, but I still don't have a dedicated, structured writing routine. So I will tend to do my writing in between everything else. I write on weekends if I have a couple hours at 2 p.m. on a Wednesday or 9 a.m. on a Saturday or literally any time. The second I get my work done, I'm writing. So it's basically, if I could, I would spend every second of every day writing, but I cannot do that because I have other work commitments. I run a Patreon, I do content production, I do a bunch of stuff. And so basically the way I structure my week as a self-employed person is that I have a hierarchy of deadlines for what I need to do. So my YouTube videos and my Patreon videos, I put pretty hard deadlines on there because I want to try and be consistent with my channel, with uploading. And what can be quite tricky with me is that I don't always know how long it's going to take me to edit a video. It could be 2 or 3 days, or it could be 5 days, it could be 2 weeks. Like it is quite tough sometimes. And so I even still now, I'm the video editor for my channel. So sometimes I have like pretty bad crunch still with getting videos done. It is still a thing that I will end up working up until like midnight or later to get videos done, because that's just how it works sometimes. Not every video is going to take the same amount of time. And sometimes I'm making a video on a week where I have a bunch of Patreon videos due. And then recently I've had so much work pop up for the promotion of Theodora's tea shop. So I've been writing like letters to booksellers and like reviewing things. And as I said, I was on a podcast. I'm going to be on another podcast really soon. I think there's going to be another podcast after that. Like I've been pitching non-fiction pieces. I've been doing so many things and it's been amazing and so much fun. But just that on top of everything else has meant that getting back to Spiegeltent has taken a little while. So basically the concept I wanted to share with you in this vlog is, here is my writing routine on a day where I don't have to do anything else. So really, it's actually quite boring. It's ideally, I would like to work at a cafe or the library for a couple of hours, and then I want to go home and no life my story for a while. My ideal kind of writing day really is 2 hours somewhere else in the morning, and then I would probably just write and write and write. And I can, when I get on a roll with a story, like I don't really have an off switch. I can write from like 12 noon and then keep going until past midnight. Like I once I'm in a story, like I'm not leaving it. And so that's another reason why I have to be quite careful with when I write, because if I try and write for a few hours every morning, my other work won't get done. So that is a real problem for me. I basically have to do all of my other work first and then I'll do writing, because writing, I just won't stop. So because I'm self-employed, as I've mentioned so many times, again, I think it's so important to bring it up and to have that clarity. It is really, really hard to make a full-time income as an author. That's not how I live right now. I have a job, I make money as a self-employed person. Yeah, basically I have to get all of my other obligations done and then I do the writing around that. So I will write whenever I can, on a bus, on a train, in the morning, at nighttime, on my tablet. Like sometimes when we're watching a football game, I'll pull out my tablet and start writing. Like literally there are no conditions that I need in order to write. But this is what I do on a day where I basically have the full freedom to do whatever I want, because I've organized my work in such a way that I've made time to have a full day for writing. So checking in now mid-afternoon, I have ended up working really solidly on this today. I'm kind of getting to the point where I should probably stop working, but I'm basically on a roll with chapter 4. It's going well. I'm rewriting little bits and pieces. I'm changing this character into being character A and character B into just being this new third character, character C, and really just refining the themes. And I've gone back and I keep sort of keeping a weather eye on where the story is going to end up and how the ending is going to change. The ending in this draft is basically going to stay generally the same, but we are going to be just tweaking it a little bit, tweaking some of the logic of how X, Y, and Z happens. And really, again, I know I've said it a few times, I think it's because I'm in disbelief, but the book is sitting in a really good spot. Nothing is dire, nothing is doom and gloom here. These are not major rewrites. The pacing is good. It was just, I feel so relieved that on this one the pacing was just good on the first, well, not the first go I suppose, because it wasn't like technically draft 1, but from the first bit of feedback the pacing has been good, which is really, really good. But yeah, this has been a pretty standard day for me so far, just slowly working away, chipping away at this story, and I'm incredibly excited because it's going well. It feels easy. It doesn't feel like pulling teeth, and if you've been following the other vlogs, Project Spiegeltent has this whole time felt like me pulling teeth. It's been really, really difficult, and so I'm having a lot of fun just really basking in this world, because Spiegeltent is set in the real world, unlike Theodora's Tea Shop. Theodora's Tea Shop is a secondary fantasy. But yeah, this particular story with the world building, like the world is so weird and vibrant and almost dreamlike in a lot of it. Chapter 5 is quite a long chapter because the book is gonna end up being about 70k words, but there's only 13 chapters in the story. I adore that chapter. I had so much fun. I feel like I wrote that chapter in 2 sessions. It was like, I think I wrote that chapter over the course of like 2 days and then refined it a little bit on top of that, but it's like an 8,000 word chapter and it's so much fun and I love it to bits and I'm just very proud of that particular one. Theodore's Tea Shop, the proofs are all done. That's 100% submitted. I will not be doing any more editing on that work. So yeah, I'm feeling excited and I feel like my creative cogs are whirring and I can work well, and that is really, really good news. So I'm gonna go back to typing for a little bit. It's almost 5 p.m. and we're all done. Chapter 4 is done. I am just going to do a quick wind down meditation to bookend my day and to try and get me out of this workspace, because I know that if I sit at my computer and if I don't do this, I will spend the whole night wanting to come back to my work. And I have this real problem because I work from home and because I've been self-employed for the past 5 years. I could just work forever. And so I've been looking for the past 5 years for different things that I can do to try and give my day structure, and this vlog has kind of been based around my writing routine on a day where all I have to do is write, which would be an utter dream come true one day. But I am kind of pushing into being kind of a hybrid writer and content creator where there's so much work that you have to do as a debut, which I obviously knew about in theory but just haven't gone through in practice, that I really have needed to have a think about how I structure my day in terms of my work day. So anyway, I'm rambling. I'm gonna pick a nice meditation to do.
We don't have to search far and wide for calm. It dwells within each in-breath and each out-breath.
Thank you again to Headspace for sponsoring this video. Don't forget that if you click the link in the description down below or use the QR code, you can get Headspace entirely for free for 60 days. I'm done for the day, clearly, because I'm stretching out my shoulders and my upper back. But anyway, it ended up being quite a lovely gloomy day today. It was quite warm and humid this morning, and then it was sunny, and now it's like gloomy and like a little bit rainy, and apparently it's gonna rain all this weekend. So yay, autumn vibes. So to summarize this creative, productive-ish routine, this is kind of a rough routine, as I said, on a day where I don't have anything else to do but writing. And generally for me, I get one of those days roughly once a week. Like depending, generally once a week or sometimes once every couple of weeks. Generally, my job, as you guys know if you've watched my other videos, I spend most of my week doing video editing and doing admin and doing emails and doing all of that, often quite boring stuff. And so I live to have time to write my story. So whenever I have a day where I can just sit down and write and ideally go to somewhere lovely to do that, it's one of my favorite things in the world. I love heading out for an hour or two. Generally, I max out at around 2 hours at a cafe or at the library. I find that I concentrate way better at the library or a cafe, but it does exhaust me a lot faster. So I think it's just because I click into deep work much quicker, but I think something about being out and about in public is still just a little bit more exhausting than being at home. So I love to start off my day by going for a nice big walk, doing things that are going to make me feel calm and unfrazzled so that I can concentrate and not get distracted while I'm writing. Ideally, writing somewhere really nice and pretty for a little bit, like a cafe or a library. That's my favorite thing to do. And then coming home and finishing off the writing session at my computer, because the thing is that my computer, the screen is much bigger than my tablet, so it is easier to work, but I love the novelty of going and working somewhere new. Really struggling during the querying of Theodore's Tea Shop, during the submission process of Theodore's Tea Shop, during the editing of Theodore's Tea Shop. I was really struggling to get words on a page for Project Spiegeltent, and I found that really for those first 2 drafts, I could not physically bring myself to work on that story at home. And so I ended up working on it mostly in smaller bursts in the library, the State Library, the Bar Smith Library. I'm rambling at this point. This was my day. It was very productive. I got a lot done. It was a beautiful day. We got to enjoy the autumn leaves. I'm thinking for the next Project Spiegeltent vlog, I might just vlog the rest of this draft because I'm working on it quite quickly and it's going really well. So I don't actually know how much longer it's going to take me to finish this draft, although I'm not necessarily putting a lot of pressure on myself to get it done quickly because I do have other priorities for Theodore's Tea Shop, and that book is going to be coming out really soon. We're getting really close to July, guys. It's so exciting. July 28th this year. It's so close. If you don't live in the UK, Australia or or New Zealand. If you live in literally any other country, you should be able to pre-order it from Blackwell's, so please feel free to go ahead and check that out. There'll be links in the description down below as well. If you live in the UK, Australia or New Zealand, please feel free to head to your local bookstore. And finally, thank you to everyone over on Patreon for supporting my videos, because I wouldn't be able to do this without the people over on Patreon. Over there we have a whole bunch of lovely bonus content, our book club, our Discord server. I post so many bonus things over on Patreon, so if you'd like to check that out, there's a link in the description down below for that as well. Take care everyone, and I will see you next time. Bye!